Ba-da-ba, 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 ba-da-da-ba-da, Doodle Bible School. Good to see you guys. Here we are all together and everything. Right out the gate, I'm going to have to get me a little lubricant. I do love water. Do you love water? Well, good. I'm glad that you love water. If you love water, you should have been with me last week or the week before. I think it was last week. We talked a lot about water. I'm not going to talk about water today. But here we are, Doodle Bible School. Thanks for being with me. Boing! There we go. Navigating numbers. Guys, I know I've been saying it for a few weeks now, but we're almost done with navigation. Yeah, we are. Because I'll be honest with you, in a sense, we're already done because they've navigated right up to the doorstep of the promised land. We're not navigating no more until we get inside. Then we're going to go all over the promised land. But we got a lot to do between now and then, although this is our next to last chapter of the book of Numbers, if I'm not mistaken. Then we're going to go into Deuteronomy. We still stay in Deuteronomy. We don't go into the promised land quite yet. But anyhow, it'll be a good journey, and I'm glad that you're with me. And thank you so much, Mr. Moses over there. Here we go, guys. All right. Segment number 1, we're going to do the doodle. That means everybody needs to get the doodle-laters out, and while you're doing that, I'm going to go ahead and hit the button there, and you'll be able to review. And there it is. It's finally coming up. Is it? Man, it's slow on the computer. Has anybody noticed? It's just like, I think it might be the heat of the summer or something, but everything's been slow. I've been slow, and I'm not really slow, am I, honey? But sometimes I'm even slow. I told Gabriel, I said, Gabriel, you got to quit, man. He's just giving us too many difficult things to draw. But he simplified this one for me as much as he could. All right, guys, in chapter 35, we're going to take the Levites, and they all get cities. They don't get tribal area, big area land masses. They're just going to get cities. And I think in total they get 48. We'll see that here in a minute, maybe. But anyhow, let's go ahead and draw our little high priest here. I like how Gabriel does it. He's such a better drawer than I am. But anyhow, remember he's got that thing on his chest with 12 stones, isn't it? Because they represent the 12 tribes of Israel. Remember all that? Yeah. All right. Oh, you got to give him some arms here. All right, there you go. All right, but the thing we want to remember is that the 3, his leg's kind of in the way. We're going to take off a leg, people. Oh, dear. There's your 3. Can you guys see it? I'm having trouble coloring it in upside down here. He's a one-legged high priest. Here, we'll give him his leg back so he doesn't look quite so funny. How's that? Anyhow, can you guys see the 3? It's not a very good 3. Maybe that's a little bit better. How's that? Is that a better 3? Not really, Sonny. Oh dear. But anyhow, that's our man. He's a high priest. Oh dear. That's just really sad. Okay, but now we get the complicated part. Okay, we got to do the 5. All right, and I've taught you how to square off 5s, right? But you know what Gabriel did at the top of the 5? He's got all these buildings. Okay, that's what this is supposed to be. Okay, these are all buildings. Okay. And I'm going to make another one over here. And we'll put a big one over here. All right, now give them windows, okay? Everybody's got a window in their building. That's supposed to be a city. I don't know why Gabriel always does so much better than I do. But anyhow, there you go. 35. 35 is supposed to be Levites. They get cities, or cities for the Levites, however you want to remember that. I don't really care, but as long as you get that idea, that when they go into the promised land, they are not going to receive big areas of land like states in America. You know, they just get cities, and we'll see that here in just a moment. All right, cities for the Levites. Is that the most pitiful thing you ever saw in your life? Oh dear. All right, cities for the Levites. All right, segment number 1. So if I was going to ask you a question, it would be, matter of fact, it'd be 2 questions. What is the theme of Numbers 35, cities for the Levites? And can you doodle the picture? There it is. All right, Big Eye Bob, what do you got for us today? Big Eye Bob says, how do you cut a tiny pizza? A tiny pizza. We had pizza last night. And I got to be honest with you, I'm not just all that into pizza anymore. It makes me feel yucky. Do you guys like pizza? Every time somebody says it, I think to myself, yeah, let's have pizza. But then after I eat it, I don't feel good. I'm not much of a pizza guy no more. Mom, I'm sorry if that makes you angry at me because she loves pizza. Mom's a big pepperoni pizza person. That's kind of hard to say. But anyhow, how do you cut a tiny pizza? If it's just a little one, how do you cut a tiny pizza? Well, I'll tell you. You cut a tiny pizza with Little Caesars. Little scissors? Little Caesars? I read that and I said, that's just the greatest. So I had to share it with my friends, and you're my friends, and therefore I've shared it with you. You cut a tiny pizza with Little Caesars. Oh, sometimes I just kill myself. All right. Make a memory with the dancing brain that comes on there. He just comes right on the screen and he dances. In the Make a Memory segment, we are going to try to do our best to put a memory verse right there in our head and make it stay there. And this could be a tough one. Command the people of Israel. 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 To give to the Levites. To give to the Levites, 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 to give to the Levites. Command the people of Israel to give to the Levites. Command the people of Israel to give to the Levites. Command the people of Israel to give to the Levites. You just keep saying it like that. I mean, eventually it's right in there, you know. And of course, if that doesn't work, you can always do as we always tell you, leave blanks. And then every time you go past it, you've got to fill in the blanks. And there you go. Command the people of Israel to... I can't even remember. I don't even remember. What's that word? Command the people to give. I think I left out a blank. No, yeah. To give to the Levites. That's what it is. Command the people of Israel to give to the Levites. Oh, dear. All right. So if I were to ask you a test question about that particular memory verse, where were the Levites to receive? What were the Levites to receive in addition to the cities? I don't think I read that part, did I? Let's go back and do it again. Command the people of Israel to give to the Levites some of the inheritance of their possession as cities for them to dwell in, and you shall give the Levites pasture lands around the cities. So they don't just get cities, they get pasture land around the cities. Oh dear. Sometimes I don't know about myself. So here, let's see, segment number 2, test question is going to be, that one, and can you quote the memory verse? Not even a chance. All right, here's Lollipop Lucy. Now, Lollipop Lucy says, where does a person learn to make banana splits? I do love banana splits. And the thing that's funny about banana splits is, I think I love pizza, but it always makes me feel bad. And I think I love banana splits, but it always makes me feel bad. But I really do love banana splits. I don't know what it is with pizza anymore. But anyhow, banana splits. If you wanted to be a professional banana split maker, where would you go to learn that particular trade? Well, to make a banana split, you clearly go to Sunday school. Except if you notice how it's spelled. Sunday, that's the kind that's with the ice cream. Sunday school. That's pretty cute. I like that one. All right, segment number 3. Let's ponder a passage as we sit by the pond and we say, All right, well, in this particular passage, we're going to draw our attention to Numbers chapter 35, verses 1 through 3 and 9 through 15. Here you go, folks. The Lord spoke to Moses in the plains of Moab by the Jordan at Jericho, saying, that's why I've been telling you guys we're not going to do much more navigating, because he's already there. They're going to stay pretty much right there. And all through the book of Deuteronomy, we're going to be basically right there. And then we're going to move into the promised land. But guess what? Moses ain't going. Remember? All right. Command the people of Israel to give to the Levites some of the inheritance of their possession as cities for them to dwell in. So what do the Levites get instead of big land masses? They get cities. And you shall give to the Levites pasture lands around the cities. The cities shall be theirs to dwell in, and their pasture lands shall be for their cattle and for the livestock and for all their beasts. Verse 9. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the people of Israel and say to them, when you cross the Jordan, that's a river, into the land of Canaan, that's the promised land, then you shall select cities to be cities of refuge for you, that the manslayer who kills any person without intent may flee there. Now this brings up a rather interesting law that they had back in the day. So let's say that I accidentally hurt somebody and they die. I didn't mean to. Maybe I'm cutting down a tree and it falls on another guy and he dies. Okay. What do I do? Well, sometimes people get really rash. You killed my brother. I'm going to kill you. And so in order to keep that thing from happening, they had these cities of refuge. And you're going to notice that there's going to be 6 of them. We'll see that here in just a moment. But these cities of refuge are scattered out. And if somebody has an accident like that, they can run to the city of refuge that's owned by the Levites. And the Levites will protect them. You're not allowed to come in here until we have a trial and figure out who really is guilty. And so it says here that the city of refuge, cities of refuge, that's why they were to exist. So somebody could go there and be safe until a trial was had. Verse 12. The cities shall be for you a refuge from the avenger, that the manslayer may not die until he stands before the congregation for judgment. That's the trial. So what does he wait for when he's inside the city? He waits for the trial, or to stand before the congregation for judgment. And the cities that you give shall be your 6 cities of refuge. So there's 6 of them. And the 3 cities, and you should give 3 cities that lie beyond the Jordan, and then there will be 3 cities that lie within the land of Canaan. You might recall we had those 2 tribes that stayed on the other side of Jordan. So evidently they're going to get some cities of refuge as well. Okay. And then verse 15, these 6 cities shall be a refuge for the people of Israel, for the stranger and for the sojourner among them, that anyone who kills any person without intent may flee there. And so again, the cities of refuge were for the purpose of somebody who accidentally kills somebody. And so they run over them with their ox cart, but they sure didn't mean to, and the person dies. And family members are all upset. We're going to get you. And so this guy can run to a city of refuge and stay in that city of refuge until the trial comes. And then they'll figure out who really is at fault here. All right. So here are your 5 questions from that particular segment, which happens to be segment number 3. And so there they are, people. Those are the 5 questions that you're going to have over that particular segmentation of our time together. All right, here we go with spinny. What do we call this guy? The guy with the spinny head? I don't remember. Anyhow, did you hear about the fire in the thrift shop? Oh no. Fire in the thrift shop. You know what I'm thinking to myself? I'm thinking to myself, that's not good, because I go to thrift shops and I buy clothes. Matter of fact, I think I did buy this particular shirt at a thrift shop, because anyhow, it doesn't matter. But that's why we do that. We try to save as much money as we can. There's my buddy Dennis right there. One of the reasons I save money is because my buddy Dennis over there, I want to support him as an evangelist over there in Kenya. And so anyhow, thrift shops. I can't imagine a thrift shop catching fire. How tragic would that be? But this is a joke, so it didn't really happen. All right. Did you hear about the fire in the thrift shop? Several were treated for secondhand smoke. Get it? Thrift shops, that's where you go. You put your you buy secondhand clothing. I wonder who wore this shirt ahead of me. I don't know. But anyhow, I thought that was funny. You might not, but anyhow, I did. Segment number 4. Apply the why doing. This is where we're going to go into the passage with a little more depth, and we're going to say to ourselves, okay, what about this particular passage? Are you ready? Here we go. All right, as it appears upon the screen, you're going to notice there's a lot of stuff there, but the thing that I was drawn to was this area, verse 12. The cities shall be for you a refuge from the avenger, that the manslayer may not die until he stands before the congregation for judgment. My question for you is, have you ever been to a courtroom? I've had to serve on a jury once or twice. Cindy's like a professional jurist. She gets called all the time. But anyhow, yeah, I've been to courtrooms, and it can be kind of intimidating. Do you think that it would be scary? Why or why not to be in a courtroom? Because it's kind of, it's pretty official. You got the judge who sits up there at that big bench, and you got these lawyers who kind of parade themselves up front and they make their case and all that kind of thing. It's a little bit intimidating. So the question for you, because that's what happened back in the day. If somebody killed somebody accidentally, they ran to the city until they had time to have a trial. And at the trial, then they do this stuff. Okay. Well, my question is, have you ever been in a courtroom? And whether you have or not, do you think it's scary or would be scary? And why or why not? Can you answer that in a short answer? I think you can, because I believe in you. Just a short answer is all I need. Just a short one. All right, you got that? I think it's our last joke of the day. What do we call this guy? Timmy Tooth Man? I don't remember. He says, I bought a thesaurus at a thrift shop, but it only had blank pages. And that is one of the problems with shopping at thrift shops. Sometimes the stuff has been damaged or, whatever. Anyhow, this guy, he says he bought you know what a thesaurus is? A thesaurus is a book that tells you the other words that can be used for the same word. Okay. Anyhow, so this guy, he bought a thesaurus and it didn't have any words in it. He says, I have no words to describe my anger. Because the thesaurus didn't have any words, so he has no words. Oh, dear. Okay, segment number 5. This is where Frank pops up and he says, No, oh dear, we can't have a test yet. I wasn't paying attention. Well, that's your problem, Frank. All right, here's your test questions. Test number 31, guys. We have 32 tests, so that means next time's the last test for this particular book. 31, test number 31. Here are the questions that you have. They are there before you upon the screen. Screenshot that, and you can study ahead of time for the test, and I'm telling you, you're going to do well. I know you are, because I believe in you. Thanks so much for being with me. I hope you enjoyed chapter 35, and stay with me, because next time we'll end the book. Sonny Childs, who are you? Good to meet you. Thanks for being here. Be there. Matthew 16:26.